Hi, everybody. I am here to tell you about my travel project. So, this is an example of what you can do for one of your final projects in art history. I have chosen to go to Italy. I'm going to see number 73, Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper in Milan. I want to go to San Vitale and see, or I want to go to Ravenna and see San Vitale. Number 51, the Byzantine Church. And then I also want to go see the Scrivini Chapel in Padua, which is outside of Venice. So I'm also going to go to Venice and see the Venice Biennale. These are my friends, Susan, Stacy, and me, and we're going to sort of travel together. All right, this is my itinerary. And I'm going to leave on July 14th, take the A train to JFK at 2 p.m. and then my flight to Europe is at 5:25. So that'll have me arrive in Venice, Marco Polo Airport at noon. I'm going to take a water taxi to Venice and meet my friend Stacy and just relax and have dinner. The next day I'm going to wander around Venice and get lost. It's the main thing you should do if you ever go to Venice. I hope you do get to go to Venice. In the afternoon, I'm going to go to the Peggy Guggenheim Museum. The day after that, I'm going to go to the beach. The Lido is the beach. I'm going to rent a bike. And on Saturday, I'm going to go to the Biennale. They have a couple of venues, so I'm going to go to the Arsenale on Saturday. And then on Sunday, my friend comes. We're going to go to the pavilions in the Giardini. On Monday, we're going to go to the Arena Chapel in Padua just for a day trip. On Tuesday, we're going to go to the offsite pavilions for the Biennale. Wednesday, I'll probably go back to the beach. Thursday, I'm going to take the train to Ravenna and see San Vitale the next day. I'm only staying there for 2 nights, and then I'm going to go to Milan, where I'm going to stay for 3 nights. I'm going to see Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. I'm going to go to another museum and see some other important artworks. Okay, so here's my flight. I got a cheap one-way ticket for $211. It's so cheap on Norwegian Air to Venice. I do have a layover. And then coming back, I found a flight for $172, crazy cheap, where I have a layover in Paris, but I arrive back in New York City at 9 p.m. When I get to Venice, this is how I'm going to get from the airport to Venice, the island where my friend lives. I'm going to stay with her for a couple days. It's called the A Laguna, and it's a very nice boat. They take your luggage, they put it in the back of the boat, and everybody sits sort of under the boat, not under the boat, but like in this whatever this area is called. So people are like kind of sitting under there and a little bit back here, and they take you to the city because you can see Venice is an island, and this is the Veneto. This whole area is the Veneto, but this is the mainland, and the airport is obviously on the mainland. You fly. You can also take a train in here. You can also drive. This little area right here is the only part that has cars and trains. So the rest of it you have to walk or take a boat, which makes it kind of interestingly quiet. So when I'm there, I'm going to take the water bus. This is like their subway system. You can get like a weekly pass or a monthly pass, and you can see the boats pull up to these sort of stations. People go through here, they board the boats, and this is their mode of transportation. It's like their public bus. This is my friend Stacy. She's an artist. I met her in graduate school, and I'm going to stay with her for a few days. She lives in Carnereggio. This is Venice, an aerial view. I love it because it always reminds me of like hands that are clasped like this. Smiley face is where Carnereggio, where she lives. This area is like the train station and the bus station, so people can get dropped off here. But this whole other part, like I said, is all walking or boating. And this backwards S shape is the Grand Canal, and this is where those water bus vaporettos go. How you can get around, or you can just walk. It's very walkable. After like 4 nights, my friend Susan comes. We're gonna stay in this Airbnb, which is near the hospital, which is around in this area in Castello region. This is our host, Marco. Part of the reason we chose this apartment is because it looked really nice. It had 2 bedrooms, air conditioning, 5-star rating for Marco here, and it's very clean. And then this is just some pictures from Venice. This is San Marco. This is the Rialto Bridge, or the Accademia Bridge. This is Rialto Bridge. You can see people on a gondola. People don't really travel around by gondola. Gondola is more like a tourist thing to do, but it would be a fun thing to do if you've never done it. All right, so I'm going to go to the Lido. This is the Lido Beach. You can rent an umbrella and a beach chair and buy some watermelon. I always rent a bike and ride my bike to the Lido. Back on the mainland of Venice, I go to this church that has some. This is Titian. I think we've looked at these paintings. Titian was a Venetian artist. Some very famous paintings. The Assumption of Christ. This is, okay, so then I'm going to go to the Venice Biennale. So the Biennale is obviously every 2 years, hence the name Biennale. It's the oldest, most prestigious international exhibition of contemporary visual art in the world. And it's sort of referred to as the Olympics of the art world, and it dates back to 1895. This is from, I did go to this exhibition a few years ago in 2017, so my pictures are from that. I also went in 2019. I was lucky to go last summer. Their next one was supposed to be 2021, but because of the pandemic, they know that they can't plan like they're supposed to plan because they go to artist studios and everything. So they've postponed it for another year. So the next Biennale is going to be 2021, and I couldn't really plan that far out because they don't allow you to do that. They don't have like any airlines. They don't have any flights yet for that. Okay, so the Venice Biennale, the curator is this woman, Christine Mackel, who is a curator in the Pompidou, which is the contemporary and modern art museum in Paris. And they usually have a theme. Just so you know, like how to visit the Biennale. It's really difficult to do the Biennale in one day because there's the Giardini and the Arsenale, which are huge areas. A 2-day ticket is 30 euros or 22 if you're under 26 years old. You should definitely, there's also other discounts, so you could look into that. I would try to do it in more than one day, because one day you would miss a lot. All right, this is the entrance to the Arsenale. The Arsenale is like a giant, this is an image of the Arsenale on the inside. They used to make boats there since obviously Venice is a seafaring city. And now they've turned into this giant exhibition space. It's really beautiful to have large scale sculptures and large paintings. This is the area of the Arsenale of Venice. You can take the Vaporetto, the water bus, through the Grand Canal and then end up out here in the lagoon, and it can drop you off here and you can go to this venue. As you can see on the inside also, this is El Anatsui. You're familiar with this, his artwork, right? And so it looks gorgeous in this Arsenale space. The other space is in the Giardini. This is a map of the Giardini. The Giardini has many pavilions from different countries. You can see these are some of the different pavilions. And for the most part, each country hosts one artist. So they choose like their most outstanding contemporary artists at the time, and they offer them like a one-person exhibition in their exhibition space. Sometimes a country might choose a few artists. For the most part, the United States just chooses one. Can you guess which one of these pavilions is for the United States? Actually, it looks like it's listed twice here. Yep, you guessed it. This is the United States Pavilion, and it's why? Because, the United States was totally into neoclassical architecture. This is what we use for a lot of our banks and government buildings with the, ancient Greek architecture with the pediment and the columns. And also even the the American Pavilion in Venice. So sorry, I'm so tired today. This is Mark Bradford, who was the artist representing the United States in the Biennale in 2017. It's a great article about him. Um, he works out of LA. He's really amazing to watch speak. So if you ever have the opportunity, like you should watch the Art 21 with Mark Bradford. He's really great. He makes a lot of like kind of sculpture collage. They're more like collages, I would say. He has some other things. In the Biennale that year, he also had a video and I think a sculpture. So what he did was, this is a replica of the United States Pavilion, and he built it in a warehouse in LA so that he could really see what he could really like plan out what he was going to put in the pavilion, which I think is really such a cool way to do it. This is the floor plan. You can see there are really 4 solid galleries and then this like rotunda area, but each gallery is all linked together. And so, he had art in each of these spaces. So all of these spaces, like I said, each country hosts an artist. This is the Italian Pavilion, and the Italian Pavilion is sort of special. It's a lot bigger, and they host artists from all over the world. Just like the other Arsenale, they host artists from all over the world. So it's really cool to see. I hope someday you get to go. This is just the outside of the building. Oh, in addition to the Arsenale and the Giardini, they also have these like pop-up outlier pavilions. And so different countries that might not have a pavilion in the Giardini, or sometimes just like solo artists would have their own pavilion within the city. So you can see there's so much art around Venice that it's really fun to see. Okay, so moving on from the Biennale, I decided I'm going to go to Padua to see the Arena Chapel. So you can see this is a little map here. It's a 25-minute train ride from Venice to Padua. This is my ticket. It cost me 20 euros round trip. This is the train, super nice train. It's I think it was pretty direct. And then so this is what I'm seeing. Giotto's Arena or Scrivani Chapel, number 63. I had to call ahead, or I had to make a reservation online ahead of time. It's always good to check ahead of time because sometimes places you need to have a reservation. Like you wouldn't just show up at Machu Picchu because you need like a reservation. There's a lot of places that are like that, and this chapel is one of them. So I bought tickets ahead of time because they only allow so many people into the museum or into the chapel at one time, and so you have to have a reservation. I mean, I only made it like a week or 2 ahead of time. It wasn't that big of a deal. Here's my ticket, and I get to go inside. Actually, we had to wait and watch a video in this like kind of chamber that somehow decarbonized us or something in order to go into the space. I don't know, it's kind of cool. So I saw the Arena Chapel. It was really amazing. All the blue is intensely blue. Then we took the train back to Venice. Chose this restaurant, La Colombina. Here's the rave reviews from La Colombina. And actually, just so happens that the main chef there is my friend Stacy's husband. So he's like one of the best chefs I've ever, one of like the best Italian food I've ever had. All right, then I'm going to leave Venice and go to Ravenna. This is my bus. The easiest way is to take a bus for like almost $10. And I'm going to stay at this 2 nights in Ravenna. I'm going to stay at this Airbnb. The total is $345. I chose this one because I really like this outdoor space. I think it's so beautiful. And then I'm going to see San Vitale. Again, I had to get tickets. I bought tickets ahead of time. Also check to see, you might be going to a place that's closed on Mondays, and Monday's the day that you're going to be there. So make sure that you're, lining up the correct time and all that. So inside San Vitale, I see these Justinian mosaics, which I'm really excited to see. Everything's gold. It's really beautiful. The next day, I take a train from Ravenna to Milan. It's like a 3 or 4 hour trip. I get this ticket for one-way ticket for $26.76. I'm going to stay at this Airbnb for 3 nights for $88 a night. It's near the Santa Maria delle Grazie, which is where Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper is. I've decided to splurge, spend $105 for a full day guided tour of Milan, the cathedral, and the Last Supper. So you can see this is my itinerary is this, whole day of looking around Milan, and you can see here we're going to go see the Last Supper. I did see the Last Supper when I was in college so long ago. It was like 1993. So bad with math. I get that. I guess that was like 27 years ago. When I saw it, it was they were refurbishing it. So yeah, I'd like to see it again now that it's done. Okay, and then the next day, I'm gonna go to the Pinacoteca di Brera. It's the main public gallery for paintings in Milan. Such a beautiful space. I love the architecture, and here are some of the paintings that are inside. The Pietà by Bellini, which I've never seen in person and I would like to. Also, the Dead Christ by Montagna. We talked about that in class and the very interesting foreshortening that Montagna did. Love to see that in person. And then also The Marriage of the Virgin by Raphael. Also haven't seen that, and I would love to see that in person. So I'm going to go to that museum. And then the next day, I'm going to take my $172 one-way flight from Milan to New York City. Home sweet home. The rainbow in the back. Yay. Okay, thanks for watching my presentation. Like I said, this is a fantasy trip, so feel free to Photoshop your pictures, yourself into the pictures. One day when we can travel again, I hope that you can actually take this trip. And okay, have a great day, and I miss you guys so much. Okay, bye.